seemingly appalled, rather hypocritically with these words that were said some, 11 years or so ago by Donald Trump. But yet you listen to the music of this day, the 50 Shades of Grey movie that all women went to, a book written by women, on, and you go, wait a minute. What Donald Trump had to say, I think, is minor. It pales in significance based on what women are doing and how they're presenting their bodies. They've objectified themselves and saying, hey, look, somehow we're liberated. They've cast off the chains of sexual oppression, and it's theirs, and to do whatever they want to do with their own sexuality, their own genitals, I guess, so to speak, if I can bring it down to that level without getting...
Well, no, you absolutely can, because I write about this on ReaganBaby.com, called A Tale of Two Wussies. Let's just call them wussies, shall we?
Yeah.
And what we see is from the feminist left and also in the millennials, what the feminist left has done to the act of sex as well as our female body parts is reduce them to nothing but toys, nothing but, hey, look at me. We have Amy Schumer, who was on Twitter, and Amy Schumer is a huge Ready for Hillary fan who was defending Hillary from Donald Trump, demanding an apology. But yet she has the audacity to tell one of her young followers on Twitter, how do you pick up a guy at a bar? Well, excuse me, have you met my wussy? You have Sarah Silverman, Amber Rose, Amy Schumer, Lena Dunham, continuously calling themselves proud sluts, encouraging women to empower themselves by being promiscuous. You have a whole generation of millennials looking at Amy Schumer, comparing her to the old Sex in the City, Charlotte, and she herself does too. And how does she do that? Well, she just doesn't want to get attached, so she just sleeps around. And they think that is liberating and empowering. So if they want to call themselves sluts, if they want to lead with their wussies, then by all means we should call them sluts and empower them and ingratiate them even more.
Well, sadly, this is the culture that we have today, and I apologize for some people who are going to be offended by this, but, let's put this in perspective. I mean, again, this is our culture. This is what our young girls, Megan, you said, thank God you don't have a daughter. I mean, I had a daughter, and even at that time, there was, a sexual revolution that was taking place. Thank you very much, Bill Clinton, when he said it just depends what is, and I did not have sex with that woman. Well, then, what happened for the young people during that period of time, sex got redefined. Look at the sociological history of what happened right after the impeachment of Bill Clinton and what happened sexually. I mean, it is it's beyond disgusting. Again, what Trump had to say, minor in comparison. But, again, I want to shift this back. Go ahead.
Let me just interject. Let me just interject this. We've been hung up. We haven't been talking about the issues because we've been hung up on filthy words. When I got done writing A Tale of Two Wussies, I literally had to take a bath to rinse and clean off all of the feminist filth that I had just endured. It took me 12 hours to write that and research that article, and I couldn't fit in half of what I wanted to fit in because it was so disgustingly filthy. The language that the feminist left uses to describe themselves, to describe men, to encourage younger women to be sexually liberated, to lead with their wussy. I was shocked, like you said, surprised and thankful that I did not have a daughter to have to raise in a righteous manner or in an ethical and moral manner with constant cultural and pop culture imagery and words used by leaders in the left, feminist left, encouraging young girls to act like sluts. And that's exactly what they do. No wonder why men are confused. No wonder why men don't know how to treat women or men are objectifying women because women are the worst at objectifying themselves.
And Megan, case in point, as I mentioned to you, a friend of mine, for observation purposes, went to check out a feminist convention, and he and his wife were just abhorred.
I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers. A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182. Warning, if you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $5,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-954-9674. We'll even show you how much money you can save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Credit Associates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-954-9674. That's 1-800-954-9674. 1-800-954-9674. You're listening to Bill Martinez Live. Join us online at BillMartinezLive.com.
Yeah, whether it's online or any one of the 280 affiliates that we have across this country, we may have lost a couple along the way with this last conversation. But, you know, ladies and gentlemen, this is the harshness of truth sometimes. When it hits you right in the face, it's very disturbing. And we've maintained all week long as we've been discussing this topic is that it is a teaching moment. But we're really not going to learn unless we want to be honest about it with what's going on. And clearly, this is the debasement of our young girls and young women that has taken place. You know, what Donald Trump had to say, it pales in significance. I got to tell you. Look at what the feminists have done. Look at what's happening with our culture, music, movies, 50 Shades of Grey. You know, a book written by a woman.